extremely late, but so busy lately. I'm not gonna go into detail, but anyways, I told you guys that I wanted to go on a couple rants, so this is gonna be a bit of a longer video than expected. Uh, Basically, I'm just gonna rant about stuff that's on my mind and whatnot, and hopefully have a great time with it. Probably not. Probably gonna get pissed off mid-rant. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, real quick, I'm going to screw around with my options for a moment. I just want to make sure voice chat off. Okay, I have voice chat disabled. That's cool. Okay. Anyways, oh boy, what rant do I want to start with? This is the tough part. I didn't actually think this through. I'm doing most of this on the fly, in case you can't tell. Jeez. I guess we'll start with pretty obvious rant. I want to rant about shocker. Just some things in the gaming community going on right now that I think are just honest to God overall ruining the gaming community. And my apologies for my game looking like it's running super slow. My game can hardly run Neverwinter sometimes, but sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, it's working sometimes. You'll see what I mean. But it just goes up and down. Anyways, so some things I feel like are just ruining the gaming community as a whole, and when I say the gaming community, I mean like just gaming overall, like it's splitting the gaming community. And this isn't gonna sound like a shocker to anyone. This is just, something that's been pissing off gamers for ages now. Microtransactions. Microtransactions, honest to God, are scummy. It's a scumbag way to get money from gamers. And you can easily manipulate. Like in a game like Neverwinter, I'm gonna use Neverwinter as an example. I love this game to death, but the fact that I have to pay to get more inventory space, basically, not cool. Granted, I know there's a way to grind for more inventory space, but like I'm on console, I'm a level 70 warlock, and it's like I still gotta either grind or spend money to buy all the items I need. And I've been grinding for, wow, I think it's been like years. And I'm still not even close to the level of other level 70 players. Like, I'm hearing from other players that have been playing this game for ages that when they hit level 70, they felt like gods. Like, they were, when Ravenloft first came out, they were like, oh my god, like, this is too easy, this isn't even a challenge, blah, blah. And it's just like, I've been grinding for years, and I still am not even close to that level. And they're like, oh, well, dude, you should probably keep grinding. I'm like, yeah, think. But anyways, just microtransactions in general, like, I don't, and like, I can't, like, Neverwinter is super guilty of this, but, at least you can grind for it. Like, at least there's like, okay, you can grind for it or spend money. You're more than likely gonna grind for it unless you're lazy or you are just like, I got the money to spend. Like me, I'm gonna grind for it. I don't got the money. And even if I did have the money, why would I spend money on something I know I can just grind for? And there's also the trade area thing that I can just throw actual diamonds at whatever I want. But I'm mostly throwing this out towards games like any EA game that's come out lately. Like, what the hell? Like, okay, Battlefield 5, I heard free DLCs. Like, sweet. But then the rumors spread about microtransaction city in that game, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, guess who's not getting Battlefield 5? Now, granted, that's a little biased. I don't like Battlefield to begin with, but still. Like, let's say I was a huge Battlefield fan. I'd be pissed at that. And it's like, when microtransactions are cosmetic, I'm like, fine. It's all for cosmetic purposes. Whatever. But we're gonna get back to that one in a minute. Like, if it's something that has a serious effect on the game, like, I'm gonna use Neverwinter as an example. They did this thing called like the Weapons of Joaquin or something like that. The weapons weren't even that good. you were supposed to get those weapons to make them look good, to make your stuff look good. There's two ways you were getting them. Legit by grinding your ass off for like days on end, like non-stop, or you were spending money. And you were more than likely spending money. Or if you had like actual diamonds up the a-hole, you were probably throwing actual diamonds into the Zen exchange and you got Zen. You know, cool, fine, whatever. That's nice. Not everyone has that many actual diamonds though. But again, I'm not throwing Neverwinter under the bus because I love this game, despite the fact that this game is microtransaction city as much as every other game that's come out this decade. But speaking of stuff like, you know, cosmetic items that are like, you know, microtransactions, another thing that I really can't stand are like microtransactions that have a serious effect on the game, or like items in a game that have a serious effect on the game, and they're only out for a limited time. Or even if they don't have an effect on the game, they're only out for a limited time. Overwatch is guilty of this. A game on my phone I play called Hawk Freedom Squadron, very guilty of this. Oh my god, super guilty of this. And I'm going to throw both of those games under the bus as examples. So, Overwatch. You know, every event they have some cool looking skins, okay? But you can only get the skins during those events. After that, you have to wait an entire year to see those skins again. Who is willing to wait an entire year to get a bunch of skins? I'll give you a hint. Nobody is willing to wait a year to get skins. The winter event is right now for Overwatch. There's a couple skins I really want. I don't play Overwatch because I hate the game. So it's just like, what's the point of me wanting to get these skins anyways? But to a player that like wants the skins really, really bad, and a player that is like, you know, oh my god, I need these skins. You know, this skin looks really good. I play this hero. I really want the skin. You better start grinding, Billy, otherwise you're going to be throwing money into the game. And that's another issue I don't like about microtransactions. A company can rig the game so it's like you have a 1% chance. So that means you better have money or you're never ever touching the items you want, ever. And I can't stand that. But rig systems are rigged. There's a lot of rig systems out there. You can't really do much about that unless, you know, you create a game and like, hey, this system ain't rigged. This is how it works. But, of course, game companies need to make money. We'll get to that. Back to the main point, however, about event exclusives. Again, Overwatch with their skins, super guilty of this. Now, Neverwinter, I guess you could say, is also guilty of this, but I mean, most of the items aren't even that good. Like, Weapons of Wakeen, that was just cosmetic more than anything. Like, unless you were new to the game, you didn't need those weapons. Those weapons were useless unless you were completely new. Yeah, it was just overall just like a pointless event. It was just like, oh my god, my weapon looks cool now. Okay. Like, I'm fine with how my character looks now. I don't really need these. Like, as soon as I realized, I'm like, wait, these just look cool. I don't need these. I just threw them away. But, back to my main point. Hawk Freedom Squadron, a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. They had a plane back in the day, and it's still around, called Alchemist. You could only get during this event. They don't really have the plane out anymore because you could only get it during the event. I didn't have a working phone during the event. My phone, okay, it worked, but wow, it's hard to explain. Imagine having a phone where all you could do is text. That's basically how my phone was at that time. I could only text. I couldn't do much else but text. So how am I expected to get this plane? I really want this plane. When I first started out, I'm like, I really want this, but I can't play this game. So why should a player that, you know, doesn't have access to the game be punished? Now, I know your counterpoint probably is, oh, well, boo-hoo, you know, that's your fault, you know, but what am I going to do? Buy another phone? I'm not going to buy a phone just to get a plane. Like, I'm not going to spend another $100 on a plane in a game. Like, that's not happening. I'm not going to spend $100 on an item in a game just to take you just for that $100 item to should never use that $100 item ever again. Like, that's just dumb. Like, you honestly are dedicated to a game if you spend $100 on anything just to never use it ever again after a while. Like, if I was to do that, I wouldn't be using that new phone after a month. Not even a month, a couple of weeks. Like 2 weeks, I think. So, seriously, like, event exclusives are just not... It's not fair to the people that don't have access, and it's not fair to the people that want to play something else, too. Like, there's these things called contests on this Hawk Freedom Squadron game. There's a plane I really, really want, but you have to be part of the Senior League. To get into the Senior League, you basically have to be, like, one of the best, and like, overall, just to get in. And, oh my god, the power creep in that game. There's no skill involved in Hawk Freedom Squadron. I'm gonna be right. If any of you guys out there have played this game, and you can back me up on this, back me up in the comments, because I know there's someone that plays the game that's gonna be like, no, there's skill involved. Dragging your finger across the screen and dodging projectiles, where's the skill in that? There's more skill in that, what's that game called? 2048? There's more skill in that game than there is in Hawk Freedom Squadron. Honest to God. Like, seriously, Hawk Freedom Squadron doesn't take any skill. You know, once you have like a powerful plane like Laser Bite or Blaster or Arcadia or Invader, you know, you're just never ever gonna need to do anything. Like, you're never gonna need skill. Like, there's no skill whatsoever in the game at all. And I don't understand. But, like, seriously, I think how they should do event exclusives are not do them as exclusives. I think that way it'd make it fair to the people that don't have access to the game or have access to the game, but they don't want to do nothing but sit on that game for the rest of their lives. Release the thing on the event. Release it for a special price. After that, put it up to a normal price. So, and I discussed this about Overwatch. You know, if there's an Overwatch skin, legendaries are like normally, what, 3,000 or something like that? Make them 1,500. Make them half off during the event only. And then after that, you have to pay full price. It would, again, it's fair. It would make it so you don't have to sit on that game all the time. And that way you don't have to last minute, throw money into a game. I did that for the Blackwatch Moira skin. Hate myself for doing it to this day. And you don't have to down God knows how much money, because stuff like loot boxes is basically like going to a casino and sitting down at the poker table. You know, you could be praying to God that you have like your full house will do something and like actually win the game, but your opponent sitting right next to you probably has a royal flush and just game over. Now, if your opponent has a royal flush, you probably would know and you'd probably like stop playing, but still, like, it's like playing blackjack and standing on 7. Okay? With the dealer having a jack present. Like, you know they have a jack. And you're standing on 7. And you really are expecting to win? I don't know. Like, the whole thing with basically my point is with my awful, analogies and whatnot, is that loot boxes is basically gambling. Except, if you're like 10 years old and you buy a bunch of loot boxes, you're not gonna, get arrested. You just need your parents' credit card and their permission to use it, or whatever currency that you use that you like for Xbox Live, get a little Xbox Live gift card, and do all that. You know, I don't. But that, granted, I'm 18, but you get the point. You can't just be like, 10 years old and walk into a casino. Now, that just, I mean, you could, but then you're getting in trouble, and your parents are getting in trouble. So you get the idea, though. Like, that's not the point. I'm sorry getting all these tangents, but my point is, loot boxes is basically just gambling. Just, legal for minors, essentially. And I don't mind loot boxes as long as it's cosmetic. Black Ops 3, very guilty of it. Very, 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 very guilty. But we're not even a step into Call of Duty territory. And the whole thing with event exclusives, make a deal on the event, and then after that, you have to like pay a strict full price. And if the event comes back, there you go. This dude's name is Dak Faden. I have to friend you, dude. I have to friend you. I have to friend you. You're a god. Mr. Dak Faden, dude, if you're watching this on my channel, dude, praise you for having the name Dak Faden in Neverwinter. I obviously get that reference. You're a god among men. Or a goddess if you're a woman. I'm not gonna judge, but you deserve to be praised. You really do. Anyways, oh wow, you are no longer a god. All right, that's it. Everything I said about you being a god or something like that, you are a dick. You are officially a dick. You know what? You are not doing that on my channel. You are not doing that on my channel. You are officially a dick, sir. You were a legend, now you're a dick. GFY, my friend. GFY. If you don't know what GFY is, have someone that's an adult explain it to you in the comments. Moving on, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. With Hawk Freedom Squadron, how I think they can do event exclusive planes if they ever do something like that again. Here, you can buy this. No problem. Throw the gems. And it's all yours. After the event, you have to earn the plane legit by getting the cards. And way you get the cards is XYZ. Like, seriously, I'm actually legit pissed off that I couldn't get Alchemist because it was an event exclusive. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I don't know, but just event exclusives and just microtransactions in general seriously like tick me off. It's just it's something that I truly believe that is screwing over the gaming community big time. And another really big issue I have with just game developers, game owners, or game company owners, and whatnot, just in general, people just like the owners, the developers, all they care about is the money. Like they sit there and they preach, we care about the fans, we care about what the fans want, what the players want, we care about you guys, the players, we want to see you guys happy and whatnot. But they are talking out of their ass. Like seriously, they are legit, all they're doing is talking out of their ass. They don't care about you. Like, I'm gonna be honest to God with you, all of you, if gaming companies were honest with you about how they felt about their game, what they really say was, we don't give a shit about you. Although, no matter how much we say that we don't give a shit about you at all whatsoever. All we care about is the money. All we care about is how much you throw in to our game so we can make another game or another DLC that's complete BS that you have to buy to do anything in the. And long story short, as much as we preach that we love and care about you guys, we can give two shits about you. That's what the big game developers are really saying. And my game froze, and that's super upsetting because I really need to grind on this character really bad. Wow. Um, There we go. Unfreezing slowly but surely. But yeah, that's basically what these big game developers and big game companies are saying. They're really saying they don't care about you. All they care about is making money. And that's just it. They don't care. All they want is money. And as long as you keep throwing them money, they're going to keep making these, BS games, all these BS microtransactions. They're just going to keep throwing them at you. And that's the thing I don't know if the gaming community understands. Like, the gaming community will rebel against, like, any game at all. Like, Fallout 76, people are rebelling against Fallout 76 lately. Huge example. I am personally not rebelling. I think the game is a good game, in theory, just the execution was poor. And it was the same thing with Elder Scrolls Online. I thought the concept of Elder Scrolls Online was great, but the execution was just awful. It was just plain out awful. Like, the execution was just massacred. It was just butchered epically. And wow, this game has never loaded and like rendered this slow. Like, my frame rate has never been this bad when I play this game. It's sad because I want to say something after this video, but this is obviously not a great first impression. I swear to God, I will try to get normal gameplay where my game doesn't like act this slow. In fact, maybe if I change my instance, but again, I was saying, game companies they don't give a shit. People are gonna revolt against the game constantly, and when people revolt, like with 76, people revolt, they just stop playing the game. The price went down. Advantage to the gamers. The gamers basically won the war against Fallout 76 in a way. Granted, people that pre-ordered the game are still wanted the Power Armor Edition, whatever it's called, are pissed about it still, but that's a story for another time. I'm not stepping into that. I'm gonna call it a realm, I guess we can call it. I'm not stepping into that realm. But again, personally, the way I see the whole thing with Fallout 76, I think the development of that game could have went the distance, and when I say the distance, I mean it could have lasted at least another couple months, maybe a year. I feel like development for Fallout 76 was rushed, and that's another big issue I have with these big gaming juggernauts. They rush development like so ridiculously because they want the money. Now, I'm not saying Bethesda rushed Fallout 76 because they wanted the money. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that some game developers rush production of a game because they really, really, really want the money, and then they get the money, or then they screw over the gamers, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, we hear you guys." But the gamers already feel screwed over. They're already asking for refunds. They're already pissed off because they can't get a refund. They're already pissed off because they're promised they'll get a refund, but they only get in store credit when they could really use the money somewhere else or whatnot. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully, you see what I'm saying. The whole thing with 76, the whole lawsuit because of the Power Armor Edition or whatever it was called, people weren't getting their bags and whatnot. And Bethesda's like, okay, we're going to give you a bunch of atoms instead. And they're like, no, we're not okay with that. We're suing you. Plain and simple. But a game, like any game that comes out super buggy, people automatically jump the gun and say, this game was a ripoff. Fallout 76, I think, was a fine game. The game was completely fine. Just the execution of the game was butchered. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, prime example of fantastic concept. I'm not saying Skyrim was butchered. Skyrim was a very, 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 very well done game. There's just a lot of bugs, and that's the thing. Like, people complain about an open world game, like being so buggy, being an awful game. Like, oh, this game's just awful. There's so many bugs and whatnot. there is no open world game that's perfect. Neverwinter isn't perfect. I played this game on both console and PC. And when I played this game on both console and PC, they're mixing textures constantly that have to like reload constantly. I will, you know, just start throwing things. Like I'll start using my abilities and whatnot, and the ability will activate, but nothing will happen. Just little things, little bugs like that will happen constantly. And it's the same thing with big open world games, especially a massive multiplayer online game. Like example, Fallout 76. There's tons of bugs in that game. Bethesda can't fix them all right on release. And that's just it. People want to jump the gun and say this game's awful because there's a ton of bugs. Bethesda made it clear that the game was probably going to be buggy. And if you are a diehard fan of Bethesda's games, you probably should have expected the games to be buggy. I mean, if you're a diehard fan, you should have played games like Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3. You probably should have played all the Fallout games. You probably should have played all the Elder Scrolls games, all of their other games. You probably should have played any Bethesda game in general. And you should have known that the game was probably going to be bugged. There was probably going to be a lot of things wrong with the game at first, but they were going to fix it. Like with Skyrim, there were a lot of bugs when the game first came out. They fixed a lot of them. Granted, there's still a ton left. Granted, they didn't do anything when they released the remaster, which we're going to get to that. Not specifically Skyrim remastered, but remasters in general. We're going to get to that. But, like, I don't know. The game developers aren't perfect. They're human. And you can't expect them to just, you know, voila, here's a perfect open world game built just for you guys. This is for you guys, not, we did this, and then, oh my god, this game is awful. There's so many bugs, this game's unplayable, this game's garbage, I can't play this game's the worst. This game's bad, I can't play this game. I want a refund, blah, 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 and they just go on and on and on, and it's just like, give the game some time. Give it time. With Fallout 76, when there's a lot of bugs in the game, still was. The beta had a lot of bugs. I still enjoy the game. I haven't played the game in a while, but I still, like, every time I'm asked, hey, you want to play some 76? Sure, I'll play 76. There's bugs that happen, but I still enjoy the game. I still find the game fun. It's like, come on. Give the game a chance. Now, I'm not saying, because I know someone down in the comments is going to bring this up. Duke Nukem Forever, you're saying we should have gave that game a chance? No. If your game stays in developmental hell for, like, years and years and years and keeps getting, like, canceled and then, or, like, postponed or whatnot, okay, then there's gonna be a problem. Or, another prime example, if I can find another prime example, something like Crackdown 3. That's what I was trying to think of. There's some probably in the comments about like, oh, about Crackdown 3. Well, you think you were saying that because that game was postponed constantly that we should give that game a chance? Honestly, yes. I think I'm probably buying Crackdown 3. I probably am. As soon as the game finally comes out, I'm probably buying it. I'm gonna give that game a chance. But I'm not saying like, force yourself to play the game, every day, but like play the game for a while, and if you're still hell-bent on the fact that the game sucks, and I mean actually play it, not like, force yourself to play it. Just play it on your own time for a little bit here and there. Give it some time, and if you're still hell-bent on the fact that this game sucks, then fine, be that way. The game sucks, stop playing the game. But I feel like a game like 76 deserves a second chance. But anyways, moving on from that, I want to talk about game remasters. I think the concept of a game remaster, in theory, is an okay idea. I think the thing with game remasters, it's a gray area in the gaming community. You know, it can be taken both ways. You know, the gaming company is super greedy and they're running out of ideas, so they're just remastering a bunch of old games and hoping to get some money off of us. That's one way you can see it. The other way you could see it is, hey, this game isn't, you know, that bad. This game was pretty good. You know, let's see what they changed about the game. Like Halo MCC, you pay $60 for 4 Halos, or how the way I put it, 3 Halos and that one Halo we don't talk about, with ODST as an add-on. And those Halos being 1, 2, and 3. There's one we don't talk about, and hopefully you figured out which one that is. Because that's not Halo, that's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 2. If you follow me on Twitter, you understand my hatred of Halo now. Moving on from that, though. But yeah, game remasters, just overall, I think, like, that's a gray area, it's a double-edged sword, whatever you want to call it. Why am I... No, I don't... I'm not... Out of here. There we go. But, like I was saying, it's just... It can be seen as either, you know, greedy and running out of ideas, or it can be seen as, you know, I'm a dedicated fan of this game. I really like this game. This game was really fun back in the day. I'm going to buy the remastered version and see what they've done. Now, I think there's a fine line between remaster and complete overhaul. When I hear remaster, I think same game, tons of bug fixes, new textures. You know, maybe the game, if it's like an RPG or something like that, the game's more immersive, I guess. You know, maybe a few new cosmetic things, you know, stuff like that. But overall, just like the game isn't, you know, changed altogether. It's just same game, just not, you know, as like buggy or like the Halo remaster, whatever it was called, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. That was a remaster. That was Halo Combat Evolved with new textures, and you know the game looks better. The game looked more modern, but it was still Halo Combat Evolved. It was still the same game. It wasn't, you know, Halo Combat Evolved or Modern Warfare, you know, thing. It was still Halo Combat Evolved. It was just new textures. You know, cutscenes looked nicer. The game was cleaner. You know, some bug fixes. Now there's a lot of the old glitches are still in the game, but you know, just it was the same game. It was still Halo Combat Evolved. It was still fun. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, granted, I like the old graphics better than the new graphics, but that's just because of what I grew up with. But still, like, it's a fun game. And it was still Halo Combat Evolved. I can't stress that enough. But then you take the COD 4 Modern Warfare Remastered debacle. Now you're probably wondering what the hell are you talking about? And I know this is the wrong person I have to talk to. I'm a moron. You don't get to point it out in the comments. But here's what I'm talking about. The COD 4 Remaster had it was basically COD 4 with microtransactions all over the place, and people were pissed. And it pissed people off even more. The only way you could get it at first was what's it called, the bundle with Infinite Warfare. And to say people were pissed is an understatement, but still, people were pissed. That's the best way I can describe it. And that wasn't a remaster. That was a complete, like, overhaul to make more money. The only reason why people throw in microtransactions in their games is to make more money. And most of, like, the scummy things that game developers do breaks down to money. Because that's all they care about. All they care about is making money. All they care about is how much money they can put in their wallets with one game. That's all they care about. Now, I'm not saying all of them do, but most of them do. A lot of the big ones, that's all they care about. Is how much money they put in their pocket and basically, essentially, steal from you. And just, I don't know, it's seriously, it pisses me off when a game developer is like, we're making a remaster. Because I know that the remaster is only going to go one of two ways. It's going to be the same game altogether, and I will be proven wrong, or what happens 80% of the time is I'm right, and the game's not only a complete freaking disaster, but it's not even the same game. And again, when I think remaster, I think it's the same game, just, looks prettier. I don't know. That's just my personally when I hear remasters. Same game, just looks prettier, something like that. Whatnot. I'm not saying the game has to have like new graphics, but I think that's just like one of the like major selling points of a remaster. Is like the game has better graphics, the game runs better, stuff like that. I feel like that's like a big selling point of a remaster. Not we put in more ways for you to throw your money away to us. It's just it's stupid. It's stupid that game developers do this because it's flat out extortion is what it is. It's all it is. It's extortion. You might not see it as extortion, but it's essentially extortion. Now, another big issue I want to discuss, and this is not necessarily towards like gaming necessarily, but it's more of just something I've been meaning to rant about and get off my chest for, I would say, quite a while. It's something that's more like just a world we live in general, really. And you probably could apply it to the gaming community somehow, but I really don't see it actually like applying much to the gaming community as I would with anything else. And that's, I don't know how I want to phrase this. Like, there's this stigma that goes around, and I don't know I want to describe this. Wow. I really should have gave this some thought. Yeah, I guess, like, the simplest ways I can put it is, like, there's a stigma that always goes around, and I notice it, like, at the smallest levels possible. That, like, if you do, like, one thing, that's all you're known for, is for that one thing. Or if you act or you are one way, that's all you're known for. And it's like, okay. Like, if you do it, like, I'm not saying, like I say, like, if you're a notorious liar, that's all on you. Like, if you are notorious for lying, you've done it multiple times, that's on you. Like, that's not on, this whole stigma. Like, that is you. You did that to yourself. You're just an idiot. But something like, I don't know. Let's say you, I don't know, let's say you're in high school or something like that. This is kind of sort of related to me. And, I don't know, let's say you're in high school and instead of doing a homework assignment, you decide, screw it, and you just I don't know, slept all day. Like your homework assignment, it's Sunday, your homework assignment's due Monday. You know, you freaking. I don't know. I was in high school last year, and I don't even remember most of the stuff I did in high school. I don't know. We'll say. Fucking wow. I don't know. You had what's a class? I don't know. You had a chemistry exam, tomorrow. And for the exam, you had to do a review packet. That was homework due tomorrow. And instead of doing the chemistry review packet, you just, slept all day. You took a little personal day and whatnot. And because of that, you're known as someone that doesn't, have any responsibilities. Every other day, you've been totally fine. But this one, little assignment, and you're like, oh, well, you're the most irresponsible person ever. And it's just like, excuse me? Because I screwed up one time, and I didn't do it ever again. Like, I don't know, people just, like, assume stuff. I guess is what I'm trying to say. People assume things because of, one little thing, or, like, maybe it'll be a few times. Something happened. And, like, I don't know how to explain. Like, people just assume things about you just because of one or two or three little things that happened. And it's just like, okay, people are going to assume shit because of something that you've done or some things that you've done. People are going to assume shit. That's just something that's just not going to go away. Fine. But do you automatically have to assume that thing every single time? Because of one little situation? Just one little thing. One little thing. Or maybe it was like something that's happened multiple times, but it was only maybe like 2 or 3 times. Bud. What's wrong with you? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't like people like that. People that are just like, okay, you are this way because of this, this, and this. And I know people that do it, and I do not associate with those people, and there's more reasons behind that, but I really did not prepare for this part of the rant. But I don't know. Just ending the rant here, just people love to assume that you are one way because of one little thing that's happened, or maybe something's happened maybe like 2 or 3 times. Again, if it's something you've done like 6 or 7 or 8 times, okay, that's all on you. But if it's like 1, 2, maybe 3 times something's happened, and people just assume you're such a way because of this situation that's happened maybe a couple times, people like that are just dickheads. I don't know, just moving on from that part of the rant, something else I wanted to rant about, a little more towards the gaming community. More so, fans of gaming, like esports. Some of you esports fans need to freaking chill. I know I'm probably, if you follow me on Twitter, your first thing in the comments is gonna be, oh, you're one to fucking talk, Luch, you and your LA Valiant, you'll be sitting there spamming things like wings out to like people, and you'll be like harassing people. Harassing people, let me just get this out of the way. That's an exaggeration. I've actually been accused of harassing people on Twitter. That was actually kind of a fun time, not being able to access Twitter for like a few days because I was the prime example of a glitch right there. But yeah, I was accused once of harassing someone on Twitter, and it was fun not having access to Twitter for a couple days. But that person eventually got caught lying, mostly because I only had contact with them once. But like, seriously, some of you like, Okay, yeah, I'm a diehard fan of the Los Angeles Valiant. You know, diehard fan of the Immortals gaming team. Diehard fan of a lot of teams. But I will not, and I mean will not, go as far, and I've seen this, and this just goes for, like, sports teams, even. People will get into fights over this. People will get into fist fights over a game, whether it's a football game, baseball game, basketball game, you know, whatever kind of game it is, people will get into fights over it. I've seen friendships ruined with my eyes over Overwatch League. Like, not even kidding. I've seen people get into fights over Overwatch League. And it's just, I don't know. But, like, back with the whole thing with sports, too. Like, I've went to, what, 3 Bills games? In 2 out of those 3 games, I witnessed a fight. 2 out of 3 of those games witnessed a fight. The 3rd game, a fight almost broke out right in front of me. But I guess the fight wasn't going to break out most because it was a preseason game. But, and in case you're wondering, you know, why I was at a Bills game, family. Or should I put it that way? Family. You know, I like to hang out with my family, okay? Don't judge me. But yeah, like, people will fight you because you don't like their team. People will fight you because, you know, you don't believe in the same thing that, you know, they do. And that's just another topic for another time, but to leave my opinion on that, sure, you know, the way I see it, believe what you want to believe, as long as you don't try to force me to believe it, and you can respect that I don't have those same beliefs, you know, as long as you respect my beliefs, I respect yours, you know, I really don't care. Now, okay, I'm not gonna, now, because someone could take that too seriously in the comments and be like, oh, so you're saying if someone's a Nazi and believes that all Jews should be dead? Okay, that's too much. I don't respect that. Like, that is too far. Like, if you were like a neo-Nazi or something like that, it's like, okay, that's pushing. Like, I can't back you up on that one, dude. Like, that's just, whoa. But, like, you know, I'm Christian, you're Muslim, you know, that's cool. You're Muslim, I'm Christian. I respect that you have one belief, as long as, you know, you respect that I have one belief. We're cool. You know, and it's like, I don't care. Like, if someone else believes something, I don't care. It's whatever. But, like, the thing with sports teams and whatnot, and, like, esports teams, people will harass you or try to get into fights with you if you are not with the same team. Now, I can't say I've seen that with the LA Valiant, mostly because the LA Valiant community is just, like, wow, like, super friendly. Like, people I've, like, never met. Like, all I did was, like, write a list of goals of things I want to do. And then, like, for the next season, like, I want to go see a game. I want to, you know, cheer with my, you know, fellow fans and whatnot. And people were, like, telling me, like, the experiences they've had and, you know, all the fun times they had and whatnot. And just, you know, overall, you know, good stuff. They told me and, like, you know, shared pictures with me and said, you know, definitely do it, you know. And the community was right behind me and whatnot. And it's like, that's cool. Like, that's what I like. I like to see, like, a community connected. Like, I like to see sports teams stay connected and not fight. Now, I'm not saying I don't like the occasional rivalry. Okay. The battle for LA was fair game. Harassing someone in the battle for LA, that was fair game. I did a little bit. I saw some of the, even, like, the notorious fans do it. That's fair game. That was just, or anyone in the AFC East against, or anyone in the NFL in general against the New England Patriots, that's also fair game, because screw the Patriots. Screw the Patriots. The a-hole, screw the Patriots. Moving on from that, though, like, I don't know, just, I think the whole, like, thing behind, I have one team, you have another, that's cool, but when we face off, like, I know you, but when our teams face off, we are better enemies. I like that kind of thing. What I don't like is, hey, you like this team, I like this team, I'm gonna get in a fight with you because we're in the same arena. What's it called? It was, Buffalo versus Miami. I was still just getting into football a little bit. I'm more into it now. I even, have a favorite team. That's not being released. And if someone tries to guess my favorite team down in the comments, I'm not gonna tell you whether you're right or wrong. I'm just gonna, like, delete your comment. I'm kidding. I'm not that kind of a-hole. But, I am just gonna ignore your comment if you try to guess my favorite team. So, don't even try it. But, and it's actually, people that know me in real life, it's not who you think. So, you may think you know my favorite football team, it's not who you think, guaranteed. But, yeah, like, I watched, in Buffalo versus Miami, I watched a fight go down. Now, the fight was not pretty. I'm not saying, like, hell yeah, I gotta see a fight, that was cool. There were no one in security came down. Like, you would think there's a lot of people in security that would have, did something. Security never got there. A bunch of fans from both sides had to break it up. A bunch of fans broke up the fight, not security. Like, I honestly, like, I don't think that you should get so worked up that you gotta fight someone. Now, granted, they were probably drunk, and it's like, okay, you were drunk, okay, but still, like, why do you gotta fight someone over a football game? And it's the same thing with, like, the Overwatch League. Why do you gotta harass people and, like, get into fights with people over the Overwatch League? Like, do the occasional, shit talk. That, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with shit talk. The Valiant lose, I get shit talked about me for cheering for the Valiant. But then when I beat their team, I talk, Valiant won, I talk shit about their team. That's just how how sports goes. But when you gotta get into a fight, it's like, come on. Like, you guys need to chill. Like, if you have to lose a friend or you have to go to jail because you're fighting over sports, like, there's a fine line between, casual, shit talk, casual fans. Like, the casual fans are, like, the most chill people ever. But then when you get to the hardcore fans that are like, if my team loses, I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm gonna, like, destroy something. Like, I don't know, people, like, that's another thing, too. Like, people, like, in any sports, not even just football, they will destroy their city if their team loses a really big game. Or if you're Philadelphia, if you win a really big game, you destroy your city. In case you know what I'm talking about, look it up. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, people of Philadelphia just destroyed the entire city. Like, people were getting arrested because they won. Something you would not think is possible. Like, oh, my team won, I'm gonna destroy my city. I was spamming F, come on. I don't know, just I think sports communities and sports fans in general need to, like, chill. Like, it's not worth destroying, like, an entire city and spending a couple of years in prison over. It's not. And at the same time, it's very worth crying over, especially if your team actually wins a really big game. Like, if you cheer and, like, okay, if you get a noise complaint, then that's fine. But going to jail over sports, just no, not cool. I don't know, that's just me. Some people might beg to differ. Another huge thing I wanted to rant about was just social media in general, really, but more specifically, like specific people. I'm not gonna like give out names because I'm not looking to get harassed by any of these people, mostly because I know a couple of them in real life. Like some of them are like specific people, some of them are like groups of people, but each group is going to have some form of example, whether it's an example I personally know or an example I've seen or whatnot or whatever. But this isn't like just social media, I guess. I guess this could also apply to like face-to-face real life and whatnot, because people do this in real life too, but I see it more in social media than I do like online, or that I do face-to-face. Wow, it's late at night if you couldn't tell. But yeah, like one big thing is the person that, and I can't, and like they don't even have to be rich or poor. Like these are just people in general. Mr. or Mrs. I'm a big shot. I'm all of that because my insert uh parent or other person in my family here gives me what I want when I want. And you are all less superior than me because I get what I want when I want, and you guys actually have to do something for it. You guys are just, awful people, less superior, and overall just don't deserve my time. People like that. And I know someone like this, and I know a friend of mine who's going to probably say something down in the comments that knows someone like this. And they are just, I don't know how I want to describe this person. I really don't know how to talk about this person in code, necessarily. Like, this person wanted me to, I'm gonna give an example, read between the lines, if you can, the best that you can. This person, a long time ago, wanted me to help him with a project. Simple project. Apparently I'd have, it was just, something simple, something small, nothing huge, just a simple little project. That's all it was. It was a project. Now, the catch with the project was I was already busy at the time. I had already had other obligations at the time, so I couldn't, help with any project. I had other obligations. So I turned it down, like any normal person would. You have other obligations, you turn the project down. Well, now I'm the bad guy, because I decided, I'm going to turn the project down because I have things to do, I have other obligations, there's so many things I'm trying to get taken care of, I have college, I have all this other stuff. Fast forward a little bit, this person's talking about how their project is doing good and whatnot, and I'm sitting there like, okay, yeah, that's cool, blah, 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 glad the project's doing good, stuff like that. Once again, I'm the bad guy because, and I made a video on this, I think, I might have talked about this in a video. I made a little comment, which was an inside joke between me, this person, and a couple friends. How dare I make this inside joke? Because this person decides to flip his crap on me. And say stuff like, basically, long story, to make what he said short, he was basically calling me a lazy ass. And I basically replied with, aspiring to become an EMT, doing YouTube casually, not for the money. You might have more subscribers, but I actually have personality and a mic. I actually connect with my fans on social media, or small group of, rather, but I appreciate you guys. And unlike you, I can actually take a joke. I made a little joke, you basically just took it like I just said I'm planning. The way he took the joke, like his reply, he basically treated it like I just told him I was going to slaughter his family right in front of him. Like, basically what I said was, everything I said earlier, and then basically, just take a joke. Well, how dare I tell this dude to take a joke? And he flips on me more and more and more, and just says, well, it's not my fault that, I don't sit on my ass all the time like you, I gotta do my project. And I said to him, like, yeah, what are you gonna do your project on? You ain't got much to do your project. He ends up, blocking me on Twitter. And it's just like, yeah, you do that because, I'm right. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with Mr. or Mrs., I get what I want when I want? Here's how it applies. I've known this person since, wow, elementary school, I want to say. And he would get anything his heart desired. Anything. Anything he wanted. He wanted something, he got it. All he had to do was, Mom, can I have this, this, and this? Sure, Billy. It's all yours. I'll get it for you tomorrow. Thanks, Mom. That's how this kid was. He wanted something, he just asked his mom, he got it. And it was just like, whoa, okay, hold up, stop right there. What? Are you kidding me? And yet he would still complain and complain and complain. Oh my God, complain when something didn't go right in his favor. If something didn't go in his favor, he would complain. And it's like, dude, you get everything you want, and you're told you're not getting one thing, and oh my God, huge deal, huge deal. And it's just like, I don't know. He would just get everything he wanted when he wanted it, and if he didn't get one thing, huge deal, huge deal. You were basically like public enemy number one to this dude, and then he tried to be your friend again. But again, he wanted something. It's just, Mom, can I have this? Okay, that's it, plain and simple. Now, I'm not saying I haven't done this. Like, hey, Mom, can I have this? Okay, thanks, Mom. But I'm now 18, and I'm not sitting there, hey, Mom. Like, if I say it, I'm saying it more than likely I'm saying it jokingly. Hey, Mom, can I have this, like, $600, like, Xbox One? And she'll be like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll, like, pretend to be mad, but she obviously knows I'm joking. And I'm obviously joking. But this dude, he asks for, like, his mom to rob a bank. His mom probably rob a bank. Like, it's basically like that. And it's like, one thing didn't go your way, and now you're upset. Wow, you could not be more of a baby. Like, just wow. That's upsetting. But basically, long story short with this person, I have not spoken to this person since, the whole debacle. Mostly because of, the whole debacle. For a lack of a better term, he refuses to talk to me, and it's just like, dude, I dropped it ages ago. Like, me and this dude would get into fights constantly. Most of it, and you would think, if you know me on Twitter, I instigated it. Nope, never instigated it. And this dude will make it sound like I instigated it, but then once you get the real story, it's just like, oh, wow, this dude's a dick. And then he'll be like, yeah, we cool? I'm like, dude, I dropped it ages ago. Like, what do you mean, you know, am I still mad at you? I was never mad. I dropped it after it happened. Like, you actually thought I was mad at you this entire time? I was never mad. Boy. And it's just like, I don't know, just like, little things will happen. And we're like, are we cool? Like, we were never not cool. We were, or, except when, you know, you decided to say we weren't cool. Like, I didn't care. You blew up and I didn't care. Wow. Is that a shocker to you? Like, I'm like, if you know me on Twitter, like, actually know me on Twitter, you would know despite, you know, everything I say on Twitter, I can be a chill motherfucker. You know, I could be your best friend or your worst enemy, but for me to be your worst enemy, you know, you have to try to, you know, be my worst enemy, or for me to be your worst enemy. Like, it's gonna take a lot more than, like, you know, oh, I'm gonna fucking, kill you, I'm gonna, come to your house and beat you up, and it's take a lot more than that. Like, this kid's actually said this stuff, too. It's like a lot more than that. Like, honest to God, like, you have to, like, like, rob my bank while I'm in my bank. I don't work, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if I'm at my bank, you know, depositing money, and you rob my bank as I'm doing that, okay, yeah, you're probably gonna be public enemy or arch enemy number one, guaranteed. But like, Joe, I'm gonna come to your house, I'm gonna beat you up, like, whatever. You're all talk, and that's another thing I don't understand. People that are all talk and no action in gaming community, 100%. You know, guilty of this. And, you know, this was, like, way back in the day, back when I was, like, young. People, oh, I'm a hacker, I'm gonna hack you offline, and you'll never... And it's just like, yeah, okay, well, if you're a hacker, hack me offline, then. And, like, this dude, there's a couple people, and they were younger than me. And they were like, oh, I'm a hacker, and, you know, I can, you know, just hack you offline, and if you don't, you know, do this and this and this. It's just like, oh, you're a hacker? Okay. And prove it. And I met this one dude who was actually a hacker. He was legitimately a hacker, and I knew he was because we met on Modern Warfare, I want to say 2, and he was a legitimate hacker. And I asked this dude, I'm like, look, there's this guy that I know that claims to be a hacker. I just need you to, you know, give him the Beyond Scared Straight, you know, program treatment. I didn't, those were my exact words, but that's basically what I said. I'm like, you know, just scare this fucking kid for a little bit for me, you know. And I told him, I'm like, you know, whatever you want, like, I'll pay you. And he's just like, nah, man, just, you don't even gotta pay me. Like, I can't stand people like that. He basically said, just, you know, I'll do it just to, you know, scare the fucking kid. And basically what happened was this kid, you know, because he was threatening to hack me at the time. And I'm like, yeah, then do it. Well, you know, go ahead and fucking do it. And this dude, or this kid, not the dude, we're gonna call, we're gonna call the kid Barry. And the dude, I don't know. We're gonna call the dude. We'll call the dude Eric. So, or not Eric. I don't know. I'll come him with a name. We'll call him Jace, because I have, you know, Jace Memory Adepper in front of me. So Barry was like talking to me, and he's all like, you know, Yeah, I'm gonna hack your account offline if you can. He's, saying he's just. And this kid, for some context, this kid was mad because we were playing Halo Reach, and the game we were playing was like basically we all like it's called jump rope, and for those of you who don't know what jump rope is in Halo Reach, basically, um, you stand on this one little platform, and people try to run you over or go down like a ramp, and they try to run you over with vehicles, and you gotta jump in the over the vehicles and whatnot, and you basically keep going till either time expires or everyone gets ran over, and all you can do is stand in one spot on this line. You can't move. All you can do is jump on this one little line. And one of the rules we had for the game, because this dude didn't want to screw up the map in any way, because he wasn't very good with Forge, and I didn't at the time I didn't know like how to find the map, but this dude had the map already, and the rule we agreed on was we're not allowed to use the Warthog, or not the Warthog, the Ghost. We're not allowed to use the Ghost, and we're not allowed to use the Wraith. I think that's what it was. But yeah, basically we weren't allowed to use the Wraith, we weren't allowed to use the Ghost. Or no, it was no Covenant vehicles. We said, human vehicles only. Okay, fine. This dude pulls out a Wraith when it's, he's the first infected. And we're all blasting him for it. We're like, you said no Covenant vehicles, you're using a Covenant vehicle. And he's like, I'm the host, I can do what I want. So, my turn. I'm sticking with the rules and whatnot. Once we get a bunch of other people in the game, fine, I'll do the stupid quest. It'll make you go away. But, when he's the last one standing, I message everyone saying everyone use a ghost. We all use the ghost. I killed him with the ghost. He got all mad at me. This kid threatens to hack me offline and whatnot, and I basically said, try me, dude. You're not actually a hacker, blah, blah, blah. And one of my other friends at the time, very good friend, haven't spoken to him in a while, actually. I kind of want to know how he's doing. Hopefully you know who you are down in the comments. We played Halo Reach a lot, me and this dude. We go way back. Me and this dude, like, we had like a love-hate relationship, no homo, back in the day. Like, wow. But, basically this dude, threatened to hack me and him offline. And I was basically like, try me, da da da. Well, going forward, to a couple of years, I, met this guy, we're calling him Jace, and told him, scare him a little bit, if you want, give him the old, I'm an actual hacker, here's what I'm capable of, kind of thing. And this guy, wow, oh my god, he basically explained to this kid that, he could legit shut his account off just with his gamer tag. And this kid's like, oh, I can do the same thing. And, oh my god, this kid basically was visibly, like, not visibly, like, in terms of, like, I can see them, but, like, you could tell by the tone of his voice, he was shaken. Like, he knew that he was backed into a corner, that he knew that he could not BS his way out of this. There was no way, all that stuff. So, he was basically, screwed into a corner and pissed himself, essentially. And this Barry, the way he made it sound like he was a hacker was, his connect was essentially Alexa. In case you know what Alexa is, you clearly don't use the internet. But basically, his Connect was essentially Alexa. All he had to do was, say your gamer tag and, a couple like different commands, and he could get into your account. That's basically how he described it, and that's basically how he was doing. And it's like, seriously, and like me and this kid were in a clan at one point, and I threw him out of it. It was not, MCA, but we were in a clan at one point, and I basically threw him out of it because he was a dick. Probably another reason why he was threatening to hack me was because I accused him of being an overall dick. And, people were like threatening to leave the clan because of this kid, and it's just like, I can't have that. I guess it's not cool. But moving on, this dude basically, did his little thing, I don't know whatever Jace's gamer tag was. He was like, connect, Jace Master 36, account breach, something stupid like that. IP address search, some dumb random stuff that he basically was making up. Like, he basically was making stuff all off the top of his head. And this Jace guy was like, look, kid, I know you're not a real hacker. Your friend here is telling me what's been going on and whatnot. None of the stuff you're doing is real. I hope you know that, I can actually, hack and whatnot. Da, 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 da. And he was basically going at this kid. And this Jace was explaining, hey, hope you understand, I could easily take your account from you. And explained how he could do it. And this Barry was like, I know how it works, you don't gotta tell me, blah, 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 blah. And Jace was like, I don't think you understand how it works, little man, stuff like that, basically degrading him, essentially. And, just, kept saying stuff to him, and, like, all I gotta do is this, 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 and this, and this Barry just kept doing his thing. He just kept saying his little commands to his Connect so you can get into his account and, all that fun stuff. And this Jace is just like, alright, look, bud, I'm just gonna give you a taste of what I can do. Boost this kid offline for half an hour. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, he legit just boots the kid offline for half an hour. He could not get online for half an hour. He comes back half an hour later, pissed and shaken that his account just got English, can't speak it, just got thrown offline. Like, he has no idea. He's basically acted like this dude just performed magic on his account. Like, oh my god, you just hacked my account, how did you do that? Was basically this kid's reaction. Obviously, he didn't say that out loud, but he basically tried to, scrub it off like this dude didn't just do that. Like, this dude's just fucking with me, blah, 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 blah. Well, Jace is like, okay, so what was it like not being able to access your online account for a whole entire half an hour? And he was just like, very funny, I just turned my console off, and Jace was like, and I forgot, my game tag was like killer or something at the time or something like that. He was like, you wanna, me to, show you how it's on? I'm like, I'll take your word for it, dude. I'd rather not, like, get thrown offline. I'll take your word for it. But, thanks, dude. And basically, to make a long story short, this Jace, me and him, we were friends for a while. Unfortunately, he got banned from Xbox Live. Made another account, got banned for hacking, and he essentially got console banned. Like, he got a complete console ban, and haven't spoken to him since. He got console banned last, and last time I heard from Barry, from that really good friend from Halo Reach, last I heard, his account actually got hacked. I believe he told me. I believe his account got hacked or his account got banned or something like that. But when I heard the news that something happened to his account, I'm like, yes, this kid's gone, because he was one of those badasses that loves to act like they're a hacker, so they have influence over people. Well, unless you're an actual hacker and you can actually you have knowledge of hacking, and you're not some little kid that's like, oh, I'm a hacker, don't go around boasting that you're a hacker. It's just that simple. And another person I knew like that was there's a dude, he would keep emphasizing that he was a hacker. He could not go a minute of his life without saying, oh, I can just hack anyone's account offline. I can mod you offline and you can never play Xbox anymore. All I gotta do is this, 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 and this, so don't break the rules of this game, guys, or I'll just throw you offline. Da, 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 da. And people believed it. And I was very skeptical. I'm like, yeah, something's not right about this. So I did some investigating. And one thing I learned, one of his friends ratted him out and basically said, he's not a real hacker, because he had these modded maps on Halo Reach. This is all based on Halo Reach back in the day. But this dude had a bunch of modded maps in Halo Reach, and he's basically like, here's all of the maps. He didn't make them. Some of them were like, I actually know the person that made it, or I've met the person that made the map, or it's not him. I've known this dude for a while. His gamer tag was never, this, stuff like that. And it's just like, well, why would you, why do you gotta lie about being a hacker? If you're a hacker, you're a hacker. If you're not, you're not. And even if you are a hacker, that's not something you should gloat about. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm a hacker, I can, throw your account offline. Microsoft hears that, your account's gonna be bye-bye. If someone reports you and Microsoft finds out you've been saying this, your account's going bye-bye. If someone else is a hacker, and oh, you're a hacker, and they throw you under the bus by hacking your account offline because they feel threatened by you or they want to show off their hacking skills, your account's going bye-bye. And it's big freaking deal. If you're a hacker, cool. You don't gotta go around telling everyone you're a hacker before you lose your account. Just an actual hacker or something like that. But this dude was just kind of like, oh, I can mod someone's account offline. I can mod you and hack your account and steal your credit cards and all that stuff. And this is a little kid saying this stuff. So of course I was skeptical. But this dude basically was like, here's all of his modded maps from Halo. Here's how he got a hold of these maps. And this is actually how I found out how to search up maps on Halo Reach. He's basically like, here's all these maps, here's how I got a hold of them. He's not actually a hacker, blah blah blah. A couple of his friends actually basically said that, not a hacker. Here's why. Here's all the proof that you need. Need more proof? No? Okay, bye. So once again, I called this kid out for not being a hacker. Or called someone for not being a hacker, and I called this kid out, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mod your account offline now because of that. My account was fine. He's like, okay, well, I modded your account. your credit card on your account is basically now mine. I can now spend all the money I want. Fun fact: never had a credit card hooked up to my account at that time. Didn't even know how to hook up a credit card on my Xbox account. Didn't have a credit card hooked up. So he's like, your credit card's mine. Da, da, da. So as soon as he left the party, I messaged him and I said, by the way, didn't have a credit card. So go try. He's like, yeah, you did. You had a Visa credit card. And da, 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 da. I'm like, nope, no credit card whatsoever. Good try. Didn't even know you could. And I even told him, like, I didn't even know you can put credit cards on your Xbox account. But good try. Good try. I was maybe like 14 at the time. I didn't know you could put a credit card on. Didn't know. Like, thanks, bud. And another story about this won't be a shorter story. This other dude, he basically, said, I'm a hacker, all that stuff. He had mods, but he was not a hacker. He was not like, I can hack you offline, but he claimed that, I can hack you offline. Da, 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 da. And there's this other dude that I met, who me and him are pretty good friends. But then me and him stopped being friends because of this person that claimed to be a hacker. Because, he was like, this person's cool because he's a hacker, you're not. Haven't talked to either of these people since. I believe one of them actually got banned offline. Because I believe they said that. I forgot what someone told me what happened to this kid. It's gonna bug me until I remember. But anyways, the kid that claimed to be a hacker, I heard he also is no longer with us in the Xbox community. I heard he also got banned, but I heard he actually got hacked. I heard he got hacked and lost his account, so he hasn't been on since. Oh, the other kid got caught saying the N-word. That's what it was. He was reported for messaging the N-word. And I'm not even, like, kidding you. Like, that's what it was. I actually, like, legit remembered that's what it was. But, oh god, frame rate. It's just plummeting. That's great. But anyways, yeah, just people that, have to have all the influence and all the control, like, especially over Xbox, where they gotta be like, yeah, I'm a hacker, I actually know what it's like to hack. I have friends that actually do, like, stuff with computers and whatnot, like now, so, like, I can just ask them, like, is any of this true? No. And just be like, this dude majors in, like, computer science, dude, like, he could, like, easily tell you that that's not the case. So, like, you want to try again there, buddy? Now these days, it's just like common sense. Like, oh, I'm a hacker. I can hack your account. I can hack your credit card. Really? Then explain the process. And I can easily, like, I can tell when someone's process is like, okay, yeah, that sounds kind of legit. Okay, I'm scared. Or, yeah, that's complete and utter bullshit. You're talking out of your ass. And just, I don't know. But another big issue I have with people, especially in social media, but this is also just people in general. People that, and I'm guilty of this too, so you can call me a hypocrite, I'm guilty of this too, but I am not guilty of this to the extent I'm going to explain. People that have to shit talk, and again, guilty of this, I'm guilty of the shit talking part. The extent is where I'm not guilty. They have to shit talk because to the extent that it drives you to stop playing the game, or they shit talk because they need to feel better about themselves because you did something on a game. Like, to give you a better example to explain this better, let's say you killed someone. And they gotta say something like, oh, you're bad at this game, blah, 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 and then, okay, yeah, get a life. That's where I'm guilty. This is where I'm not guilty. Same thing happens again. And then you get, like, a message of, Billy Bob Billy Jr. screaming in the mic, just random things. because and just saying random words that they probably don't even know what they actually mean. Like I heard a little kid say, "See you next Tuesday," like the actual word. Like, oh yeah, you even know what that means, kid? He had no idea. Stunned the kid when I told him what it meant. Absolutely stunned him. Like, this dude ran to his mom and asked if that's what that meant. This wasn't even, it was in a Call of Duty lobby, by the way, and it was, oh my god, it was funny as hell. It was great. But moving on, like, I don't know, just, like, if you have to harass someone, like, sending a little message, guilty, 100% guilty. But then when it comes to the point where you have to harass the person, stop. Just stop. Like, put the console down. I met this one dude ages ago, and we played Overwatch, and he was pissed at me, and I was pissed at him, because he made so many misplays. And I told him, why did you switch off of this hero? You shouldn't have done that, blah, 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 blah. And, oh my god, it was a shit show. Like, this dude just spammed me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna report you for spam. I'm not even dealing with this. This other guy, this is a longer story to it, and I actually believe I posted this story on my channel at one point. This guy just, like, oh my god, complete dickhead. Messaged me saying, something along the lines of, like, you need to get better at this game, blah, 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 I'm better than you, da, da, da. This dude was a silver. I was in high gold at the time. This dude was in high silver, I'm in high gold. Just for some context. And I'm not saying, he was in high gold, but at this one season he was in platinum. I checked all of his stuff. He was in silver every time. Every season I looked at, he was in silver. So I spoke up. I'm like, dude, I'm in high gold. Okay? Just stop. And my computer probably just froze. My game just probably froze. That's nice. Oh dear. You just saw my amazing wallpaper. That's great. I don't know. Anyways, this guy basically, talked shit, and I basically said, I'm in high gold, you're in high silver. Okay? I know SR probably doesn't speak much to you, but it speaks a lot to me because that was my second season, and this is your 8th. And oh my god, this dude sending me a voice message, he sounded a lot like this, like he was like really, 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 really drunk, and he just didn't want to be here. Like, he was just like, talking like this, and I couldn't understand a fucking word that he was saying, and it was just like, oh my god, like, you just could not understand him at all. Like, it was just the literal worst. Like, you just, like, could not understand this guy, like, at all. Because he just talked like this. And you probably didn't understand a word I just said, but that is what this guy sounded like. Like, this dude legit was just like, what the hell? Why is the icon still here? I deleted this. Whatever. But yeah, like, this dude just like, oh my god. And I'm like, I messaged him back in a voice, and I'm like, dude, speak clearly. Get the dong out of your mouth. I actually said the word. Like, get the dong out of your mouth and speak up. Because I could not understand a word you just said. Months go by, and this dude messages me, like, God, I pissed you off. And I'm like, I had a message saying, F you. This situation happened, what, months? I don't even know you. You're just some random dude that I met in Overwatch. I don't know who you are. F off. I just blocked him. I actually said F off, too. Surprised I didn't get, like, banned or anything like that, but... Like, why do you gotta harass people? Like, way after the situation. Way after. It's ridiculous. I never understood. Never ever understood what harassing someone over a video game has done. Like, if you're a little kid and you do it, that's one thing. You're a little kid, you have, like, no gaming etiquette at all. But if you're, like, you know, like, I want to say this dude was probably in his 20s, maybe his 30s. If you're in your 20s or you're in your 30s, and you're gonna do this kind of stuff, stop playing Xbox. Stop playing PlayStation. Whatever you're on, stop playing. Just stop playing. It's that simple. Just stop playing. Because chances are, you're probably just, and I'm just making sure my volume isn't, like, way too ridiculous. I actually just thought of that. My volume might be, like, way ridiculous. Okay, it's not. From what I can tell, at least, it's not way ridiculous. Not sponsored by anything you saw over there, by the way. But, like, seriously, you just, you gotta, like, talk someone down just to feel better about yourself. But do it constantly. Like, I will shit talk you. But I'm not gonna shit talk you to the point where I'm going to send 60 messages to you. But the thing is like, if you fire at me, I'm firing back. Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, if you come up firing at me and, like, you're some random person, like, if you're some random person I don't know and you fire at me, I'm firing back. But I'm firing back harder. If you're like, if you're a friend of mine, like, my friends know this. If someone fires me, I'm gonna fire back. I'm gonna punch him on the gut a little bit. But, you know, obviously, you know, I don't mean it, and they know I don't mean it, and, you know, we're all cool in the end, it's all a good time. But, like, random person, you know, messaging me, and, oh my god, okay, well, I guess my volume isn't too ridiculous, and now I'm able to check. But yeah, like, random average Joe messaging me, calling me, like, and say, like, oh, you're a dickhead because you did this, you know, you're the reason we fucking lost that game. I'm gonna fire back at you. I'm punching you. I'm not punching you. Like, I punch my friend in the stomach a little bit, you know, like a light jab. I'm knocking some teeth out if you're gonna message me stuff like that. Like, teeth are being knocked out, plain and simple. I don't care if that sounds harsh, but that's just the way it is. Like, I'm knocking a couple teeth out. If that's, you know, how you're gonna treat me in a game of Overwatch or a game of anything. An example, if this actually happened in Overwatch, someone messaged me, you know, oh, fuck you, we would have won that game if you wouldn't have left. And I'm like, I left the game. It was a placement match, so don't fucking, you know, hang me because I left the fucking game early. It was a placement match, and we weren't winning that game anyways, because the enemies were running fucking goats, but with it was quote-unquote goats. It was goats, but they had Mei instead of a third tank. It was essentially what it was. It was Mei with a third tank. Or goats with goats instead of a third tank, they had a Mei. And we weren't winning that game. We were not winning that fucking game. I tried playing Widowmaker. I went flex support. We were not winning that game at all. I tried everything. We weren't winning. Because our attack was abysmal. So this guy says, you know, oh, fuck you. We would have won that game if you wouldn't have left it. I'm sort of like, really? Because my friend just told me, yeah, you guys just got fucking crushed first attack. I'm like, yeah, because we didn't have a sixth fucking player, you fucking asshole. I'm like, seriously? You're gonna blame me? You're really gonna blame me? I saw you on the right side of the kill feed every time. I never saw you once on the left side. He's like, I never fucking saw you on the left side. I'm like, cause I'm fucking Mercy. I have an excuse for not being in the left side of the kill feed. I'm Mercy. I'm not supposed to be, you know, doing all the DPS. That's not how I am. That's not my playstyle. I'm not an aggressive Mercy like that. I'm a healing Mercy. I know people that play Mercy as a DPS, and you people are an enigma, to say the least. But, like, seriously, I play Mercy to heal. I play Moira to heal. I will deal damage as Moira. I will. But I'm Moira, my main thing is I heal. I will heal. If someone needs healing, I'm gonna heal them. Now, granted, if they're gonna scream I need healing 6 times, I'm gonna intentionally ignore you. Unless we're gonna game a comp where I really want to win, then I'm gonna heal you. But basically just kept on going and going and going at me. So I'm like, look, you know what? I hope you know I can just report you right now, and you're getting comp banned for a week. I just hope you know that. And you're just like, oh, what the fuck ever. You know, you're just a little fucking pussy. And I just said, okay, well, enjoy this 1 week of not being able to talk stupid, because I, gave you a fair chance. I was basically telling you, hey, stupid, quit talking to me. I don't fucking know you, so don't be talking to me. I don't know you. I'm giving you the chance here that I normally wouldn't give to some random person to just back off, and I won't report you. But you gotta be an idiot, so, well, that's unfortunate. I guess I gotta report you, dude. Like, I don't understand people that are like that. Like, they blame one person or loss. Like, it's one thing if it's like, okay, yeah, this person was the reason we lost because they didn't do anything. That is a legitimate reason to blame someone for losing a game. But if it's, this game's impossible to win, I know it's impossible to win, I'm not wasting my time, we were losing no matter what, that's a different story. Now, I'm not saying you should do that all the time. If you're up against a Mei, 100%, like, if you're up against a Mei in comp, and you leave a game, I don't blame you. I've met people that have literally left games because just because a person selected Mei on the enemy side. And I messaged this dude and I said, I don't blame you. I almost did the same thing. And he just said LOL. Like, seriously, it's just, I can't stand people that play Mei in comp. Like, you people are just like, wow. Now, I have friends that play Mei, like, in general, and they're probably about to be like, what's wrong with Mei? Mei's not a bad character in the game, she's just, and that probably is gonna be like, well, she's kind of the devil, dude. Yeah, I know, I just did that. And it's like, for real, like, Mei's just kind of the devil, dude, I'm sorry. I have to break it to you. But, I don't know, just, that's what I wanted to do. There we go. Where's my knife? Here's my knife. But, I don't know, just people that have to harass you over a game. Never understood it. Never understood. Credit for the map to this guy right here, by the way, or girl, or I'm not gonna assume. I'm not gonna assume. Credit goes to you. Anyways, yeah, people just like that do that are just uncool. And another issue I have, and this is with gaming altogether, and also social media, I guess you could say, people that are toxic. And now, people have different definitions of toxic, and here's what I consider toxic. I want you to just take this as a personal quiz for people. I'm gonna ask a few questions, you're gonna answer them. And there's gonna be a point system. Like, all these questions are gonna be like 2 options, and there's a point system. And this is basically just a little test. Just a small little test just to see how toxic you can be. Now, granted, this isn't like an official test, but depending on how many points you get, this is how in my eyes I see you in terms of toxicity. Do you believe that just because in a video game the pro scene does something, it's okay for you to do it in a casual setting? Yes or no? I'll let you decide that for yourself. And then I'll let you know what your current status is. Okay, if you answered yes to question number 1, you now have 1 point. If you answered no, you currently have 0 points. Points are bad in this game, in case you didn't know. Question number 2. Do you believe that throwing money at your problems will solve everything? Yes or no? If you said yes, you now have 2 points. If you said no, hopefully you don't have many points. But if you said yes to the first 2 questions, you now have 2 points. I guarantee you there's someone out there that's going to get 5 points. Guaranteed. Do you believe it's okay to harass somebody because they have a different belief, because they're different in general, or how do I want to explain this? They messed up. Do you think it's okay to harass somebody for those reasons? Yes or no? If you answered yes, you now have another point, or have your first point. I don't know. Question number 4. How many people do you rely on? Or let me rephrase the question. Do you always have a group to rely on when something goes wrong? Okay, let me change the question. Imagine you have someone or a group to rely on when something goes bad. If something's going bad, something's just not right, things are just, off or something. Like, let's say, I don't know. How do I explain this question better? Like, let's say you really, really need something and you can't get a hold of it. And your only way of getting a hold of this such thing is by asking for it. Now, you have a certain group of people that maybe you can talk to, we'll say. Within that certain group, now, let's say you have a certain group of people, or you have, like, a certain person. Who is that certain person you talk to? Okay? Just think about that certain person, or think of that group, okay? This is going somewhere, I promise. There's stairs, or these go up and down. Okay, cool. Now, you have this group going on. Some things are going right. Something just went wrong. Okay? Is the something that's going wrong related to money? Is something that's going wrong related to someone that you are harassing, or someone that's harassing you? Is this issue involve somebody that you prefer not to associate with, but you're associating with anyways, just to spite them? Is this person or this issue you are having right now in some way, shape, or form, in any way, shape, or form, have to do with a video game or social media? If you answer yes to any of those, you must continue. If the answer was no to all of that, you're safe for now. For the yes group, this problem you're having, I guess what I'm trying to ask if you have a problem, you know what, let me rephrase the entire problem. I'm gonna retract everything I just said. Let me rephrase the problem. Here's what I guess what I'm trying to ask in a less complex way. Do you have the same problem over and over and over? We'll say, I don't know, do you have the same problem at least 3 or more times over the course of a month? Now, I say the same problem, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, oh, I gotta pay rent, but I can't pay it. Like, social-wise, do you have the same problem at least 3 or more times a month? You know, problem with a girl or something like that, or a problem with, I don't know, some guy you don't like that you keep talking to and harassing anyways, you know, something like that, or oh, girl broke up with me, or guy broke up with me because of the same reason as, you know, the others, blah, blah, blah. If your answer is yes to any of those, congratulations, you earned yourself another point. Final question, and this is a pretty simple question. And it's gonna sound complex, but it's fairly simple. If someone says they like something, like there's that one person that's like, I don't know. Someone is like, say someone that's openly gay comes up to you and says, you know, like, oh, I'm gay, blah, blah, blah. What's your initial reaction? Like, let's say someone has a different ideology other than you. What's your initial reaction? If your initial reaction is anything along the lines of, you know, that's cool, but just respect, I'm not, or, you know, that's cool, whatever, you know, or something along the lines of, like, you know, okay, and I don't care, or okay, and that's gonna ruin our friendship, how, or something like that. If your option is somewhere along the lines of, like, laid back and chill, and, like, you just don't care, because someone has something different, no points. If your answer is something along the lines of, like, ew, you know, you're different, or ew, gross, you earned yourself a point. Follow-up question, and this is a big follow-up question, and there's actually gonna be two more questions actually. Follow-up question, do you use racist terms over social media just for the sake of using them? If you answered yes, that's another point, by the way, just to let you know. In case you didn't catch on to the system so far, answering yes gets you a point. Final question. Were you honest to this entire quiz? If you say yes, and then you know someone that can prove me that wrong, that's an instant 3 points. That is 3 points if you're lying. Like, if you are honest, or saying, you know, I'm honestly, you know, I scored perfectly, you know, no points. But then if I'm able to, like, speak to someone and prove you wrong, or prove that all that wrong, like if I'm able to, like, multiple people, not like none of them can be your friends. I guess one friend, one neutral, and then like one enemy. Or like two neutrals and an enemy. Or one friend, two neutrals and an enemy. And I was able to collect evidence based on all of that. I was able to find out you're lying. But that'd be 3 points right there. But if you're telling the truth, minus 2 points. Minus 2 if you're being truthful. Now here's how my scoring goes. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 points in the table. If you scored higher than 4, we're gonna have some problems if we ever meet up. I would say between 4 and 6, we're gonna have some problems. You might be cool, but we might have some problems. If you score higher than a 6, which is 7, 8, 9, I never want to speak to you ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because you have to be one of the most toxic douchebags of all time. Honest to God. If you score lower than a 4, maybe we can be friends. But, seriously. Hopefully, no one in the comments scored higher than a 4. If you did, tell me why. Because you can easily justify, like, yeah, I scored so many points, but you see, like, okay, I get your point. But the whole thing with the honesty part, and you get -2 points just for being honest, that's because most toxic douchebags aren't honest. And that's a big thing. Like, I'm not saying, you know, if you're a liar, you're toxic. But if you are, like, if you are toxic, and then you lie about not, that's just like, that's like killing someone with evidence right in front of everybody. And oh no, I didn't kill that guy. No, I'm not a murderer. I didn't kill that guy. I didn't do that. But there's evidence right in front of you. People saw you doing it. No, I didn't kill him. I don't know. Just I get that there's toxicity. Toxicity is everywhere in the gaming community. It's something that's never gonna go away. And I'm not saying toxicity is bad, but there's a point where you gotta just. There's a point where it's like, okay, you are so toxic, you might need to step off the console for a while. Like, you might need to take a break and go play your Game Boy Advance or something like that, or your Nintendo DS. I'm probably freaking showing you guys what I grew up with back in the day. Well, you guys got your fucking Xbox Ones and your Nintendo Switches. Oh, wait, I have both of those, but that's besides the point. But yeah, just if you scored higher than, like, I'm gonna say like a 6, you probably need to step on to a different console for a bit, step off social media for a bit, and instant 20 points on that tab. I know I said there's 9 total, but instant 20 points if you are notorious for cyberbullying. That's just not cool. Cyberbullying just is not cool. That's just people like kill themselves over cyberbullying, and like I'll hear about, like, you know, people getting cyberbullied, or like I'll see it and it's just like, why? What do you get out of cyberbullying somebody? Oh my god, stop. I accidentally pressed the button, my bad. Jeez, cut me a break. Like, I understood like what you get out of cyberbullying somebody. I've never understood. Anyways, new topic. Wow, this is gonna be a long ass video. I just realized what time it was. It's like over an hour, or even longer. But new topic. Wow, I know the perfect topic. This is one that is very, 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 very heavily debated amongst all social media, and we're stepping into the realm of politics. One thing I don't understand, and I probably will never understand this. I'm not. How do I want to say this? I am not super, you know, hyper politician, you know, politics man, Mr., all about politics, Mr. Die Hard, whatever. I'm not gonna share my political views or, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm whatever. I'm not going that far. But here's what I'm trying to say here with this topic. I will see people on Twitter or whatever, because Trump will tweet something on Twitter. Now, granted, some people believe that it's not actually Trump, it's someone else, saying Trump's words. Whatever it may be, I don't know. But the thing is like, people will blast Trump on Twitter. Like, he will say, like, let's assume it is him saying this. He'll say something about the country. Like, he'll say something about the state of the country, or he'll, speak his mind. And it's like, that's what a president should do. The president should be connecting to the people. Like, he's connecting to the people. Like, I don't think you guys have been like, the president doesn't understand us. He doesn't connect with the people. The president doesn't do that these days. What happened to great presidents like JFK or what was his name? Oh my god, I can't remember his name. I want to say it was FDR. I want to say it's FDR. But like, what happened to those great presidents that, always stay connected with us? Here is a man, a president, connecting with you guys. Like, he is using social media to connect with you guys. And talk with you guys. And tell you guys, here's what's going on. Because most of us don't watch the news. If we get the news, we get the news from Twitter, or we get the news from Facebook or whatever. But then we get people that blast Trump like, you should be fucking impeached. You're a terrible fucking president. You're the fucking worst. Or one thing that I saw, and this dude got fucking like, even like people that were like, fuck Trump, Trump's the worst. Even they were attacking this guy. This guy was like, why can't we have Obama back? This guy just got lit on fire for saying that. Like, give us Obama back. And this guy was just absolutely destroyed in the comments. Pretty sure this dude, like, was not alive in the morning. But, oh, that was harsh. But seriously, like, you guys probably getting what you wanted, but you wanted this just so you can speak your mind right at him. March down to DC and do that. Like, seriously, that's simple. March down to DC, stand in front of the White House, hold up your signs and say, fuck Trump. Problem solved. Problem solved. That's all you gotta do. But, it's like, come on. Like, love him or hate him, he's the president of the United States. Show the man some respect. Like, if this is probably the most you're gonna get out of me in terms of, like, my political views. When it came to Obama, I thought there were some ups and downs. Mostly downs, but there were some ups and downs with Obama. But I'm not comparing Trump to Obama. I'm comparing the people, the general public of America, to the President of the United States. Like, he's the president, just treat him with some respect. Okay, don't be blasting him on Twitter. Okay, yeah, free speech. But you really gotta, like, look what I'm not saying, I'm pro-Trump. I'm not saying I'm anti-Trump. But look what he's done. Like, the positives. Like, that's the one thing that people look at, or don't look at when they look at a president. They look at what they've done to fuck up the country. They don't look at, oh my god, fucking, the president fucked up the country so bad, you know. Like, okay, if they fucked up the country super bad to the point where, like, if we had a president that sent us to a depression or threw us into, God forbid, throw us into World War III, okay, yeah. If we're even alive while World War III is happening, then yes, you definitely deserve to get all the hate you are getting. Or ruining the economy. Obamacare. Well, I didn't say anything. What? Obamacare? Who said that? Okay, stuff like little things or huge things like that, you deserve hate. Like, throw us into war. You know, okay, you're probably going to get assassinated for throwing us into war. Just saying, there are people out there that are probably like, you know, I'm hoping that Trump starts a war just so they can, like, get a reason to shoot him and kill him. There are people that probably are planning on trying to kill Trump right now because they hate him that much. And it's like, what is that going to accomplish? What is killing the President of the United States, what is slander, or just overall just talking shit about the President of the United States going to do? It won't do anything. No matter, it's not going to do anything. Like, you sit there and slam him. All you're doing is expressing your opinion. That's all you're doing. You're just expressing your opinion. I thought you can go over here. I guess not. Whatever. Rip. Seriously, you all just slam Trump like he's like the worst human being, and he's not. He's not even close to the worst president we've ever had. We've had much worse, but people don't know that, clearly, because people don't, you know, take their history class, or people, you know, clearly skip that lecture. But, like, another thing is, like, the thing, back to what I said earlier with, you know, people are, you know, planning on assassinating Trump because they're fucking sickos. Alright, what is that gonna do? Okay, yeah, congratulations, you just killed the President of the United States. The Vice President is now in office. Do you know why he's the Vice President? Because he more than likely shares the same views as Trump. You basically just took Trump out of office to put him back in. Look what you've accomplished, buddy. You've accomplished nothing. You accomplished literally nothing. You did nothing but just put Trump back in office, essentially. Way to go. Good job. You want a cookie. I've never understood why people would be like, you know, I hate Trump so much, he's the worst, or like, I hate insert president here, I'm going to blast him on social media. And I don't understand where people get the idea of, I don't like this guy, I'm going to kill him. And this doesn't apply to Trump. This applies to people in general. Like, I don't like this guy, I'm gonna kill him. You're going to jail. First of all, you're not getting out of jail either. You're probably never gonna see your family ever again. Okay, not probably. You're definitely not seeing your family ever again. So, you know, you just, like, screwed your life up entirely. And, yeah, jail isn't a fun place from what I've heard. I mean, I've never been in jail. I've never been inside, as far as I know, I've never been inside of jail. I don't know what jail's like. But from what I've heard, it's not a fun place. You better practice not dropping the soap. You better practice holding on to that thing. You also better, see if a doctor can, like, stitch your asshole, like, shut, because, it's not gonna be pretty. Just saying. But seriously, though, like, I've never really understood why people get this, like, concept in their mind where they're like, I don't like this person, I'm gonna kill him. Like, I don't like the president, I'm gonna plot to fucking kill him. Seriously? Seriously? Is that gonna accomplish anything? No, obviously, like, I don't know. I don't understand why people would want to do such a thing like that. Like, the whole thing with the Kennedy assassination, all that did was set the country back a little bit and devastate the entire nation. if Billy Bob Billy Sr. was to just wake up one day and decide, I'm gonna fucking take my gun and I'm gonna fucking shoot Trump and fucking kill him and I'm gonna be the fucking savior of this country. If Billy Bob Billy Sr. was to just get up one day and do that, first of all, he probably wouldn't succeed because the security of the president these days is just like, the president's not even allowed to breathe while the Secret Service, breathing for him first. And it's just like, well then. But let's say Billy Bob Billy Sr. was to succeed in assassinating Trump. This is just a theory. Obviously, I would not want that to happen. Not saying I'm pro-Trump, because there's people that are like, oh, you wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to the president, so you're pro-Trump. Because there's people out like that, and we're gonna get to those people in a minute. But let's just say Billy Bob Billy Sr. accomplishes it. Okay, Trump number 2, put in office down. The VP, congratulations. You just did that to yourself. You did absolutely nothing. You're probably gonna get shot by the Secret Service. Maybe the military police that are around. You're getting shot. Like, you are dying too. Like, you're either dying or going to jail. You're most likely dying before you're going to jail, though. Like, going to jail is like a 5% chance. The other 95, you're probably going to be shot dead. You're better off being killed at that point. Like, honestly, if you commit, murder or something like that, you're better off being killed than going to jail. Because if you're going to jail, you're going to jail for the rest of your life. You're more than likely not getting out. And if you do get out, you're basically going to have, you're essentially going to have, what's that, you're essentially going to be, have your every movement, watched. If you were to get out after committing a murder. But anyways, Billy Bob Billy Sr. succeeds. The country's devastated. Some things are going to be set back a little bit. Some things aren't going to happen. Some things are going to happen. But Billy Bob Billy Sr., let's assume he's going to jail. Let's see. Murder, treason, probably a few other crimes in there. Let's assume the gun he owns legally. Let's see. Murder, treason, conspiracy, more than likely. Because I'm also going to assume he's trying to kill the vice president, so we're going to go with conspiracy. I'm going to assume there's a shootout between him and military police and whatnot. So, assault with a deadly weapon. I believe that'd be assault with a deadly weapon. I'm not quite sure actually on that. I believe that would be assault with a deadly weapon, or maybe attempted. I don't know. But let's just assume that's what's happened to Billy Bob Billy Sr. That could be anyone that tries to assassinate the president in general. And there are people out there that are like, I wish Trump was dead and whatnot. My honest opinion, how about you all just quit it? You sickos like you that say this kind of crap probably belong in, jail. You probably should be jailed. You probably should just be jailed. Now, I'm saying this for, saying this because there's people out there saying this. I personally don't really care for getting up, buying a plane ticket to DC, which would be expensive as hell, which I can't even afford. And then I'd have to buy a gun, and then I'd have to catch Secret Service, military police, and everyone watching Trump by surprise while he's outside. And that would just be that's too much work, impossible, and I don't like going to jail. And I don't mind Trump as a president. So it's Why would I bother to do such a thing? But there's sickos out there that will do such a thing. Like, there's sickos out there that are willing to sacrifice everything. Just, it doesn't even have to be about Trump. It can be about anyone. Like, I'm just using Trump as an example because I'm trying to guide this to my next point. Like, people will do this for anyone. People are willing to sacrifice everything just to make sure this one person in life no longer exists. So there's one person on the planet just no longer exists. It's just it's kind of sickening. It really is. But again, I was using Trump heavily in this throughout this entire thing, and you're probably wondering, well, why is Trump the target? The reason why Trump's the target is because there are people like, okay, I believe in free speech. It's our constitutional right. We have free speech. But there's a fine line between free speech and radical protesting. Now, what do I mean by radical protesting? Riots, burning down buildings, burglary, vandalism, shooting people, blowing things up. What was that one story I heard? Something about, like, a feminist rally against Trump, like, flashing to, like, show they're against Trump or something like that. I don't know. I read this article, like, a while ago. Someone down in the comments can, like, figure out what I'm trying to talk about. Just, like, stuff like that. Like, when there's, like, destruction of property, you know, you're exposing yourself to prove a point. Like, I get it, you're exposing yourself to express yourself. When you're exposing yourself to express yourself in a radical fashion, like, no one wants to see that, okay? Like, when your rally has a significant point, your rally has a significant point. Like, if our constitutional right was being threatened and we had some form of rally, I'm not saying burning things down, vandalism, burglary, but if there was some sort of, like, march to defend our constitutional right because it was being affected in some way, I agree with 100%. But when it's like, oh my god, Trump got elected and not Hillary, I'm going to burn down my city and roll over a couple cars and steal from a couple stores and whatnot because Trump was elected and not Hillary. Okay, that was a little too far. You're going to jail. You're going to be paying a hefty amount of fines that you probably will never pay in your life, so you're going back to jail probably for not being able to pay the fines. And did I mention you did nothing but destroy a couple things? You didn't actually get Hillary in office. Because another thing I don't get, like, people will, you know, say this stuff and then they'll do all this other stuff and, like, radical, protests and whatnot, and or the going even further, going really stupid, domestic terrorism. I mean, Oklahoma City bombing, Timothy McVeigh, Columbine massacre, stuff like that, domestic terrorism, like deliberate acts of domestic terrorism. People will do stuff like that to, like, get their way. But in the end, they lose anyways. Again, Oklahoma City bombing, Timothy McVeigh. I did my research on this guy. I did a paper on this guy. I watched some documentary. Like, his motives made sense to me. Like, his motives were like, okay, I get what you're saying, but, like, when I say his motives made sense, like, okay, they make sense to me because I understand. But I don't think I agree with a lot of what you're saying, dude. Like, a lot of what you're saying is, like, next to, like, Nazism, dude, and, like, fascism, and that's just, like, scary territory you're walking into, dude. So he bombs a federal building in Oklahoma City. Did that bombing do anything in terms of, like, you know, like, did him bombing the building basically, oh, okay, we'll listen to you? No. Him bombing that building, what that did was devastate the country, destroyed families, just took lives, and basically what 9/11 would do later in the what ended up doing. And, like, okay, we need more security. We need to, prevent such a thing from happening ever again. That kind of thing. And it's just like, you didn't, I hope like, you didn't, like, whatever you're trying to accomplish, it didn't work. Like, your goals were to kill a bunch of people, congratulations, but do you think that because you killed a bunch of people, that your point is gonna get across? No. No one's gonna listen to you. People would listen to you if you preach about it, not, I'm gonna take a bunch of lives and, destroy a building and cause millions of dollars worth of damage and, kill a bunch of people. Columbine Massacre, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, they were against the school. Because their motives was basically, granted, people thought, there's pills involved and drugs and whatnot and all this other stuff. But, like, a huge, huge, huge deal is, like, they were, like, seen as, like, the weird kids, essentially. It was, like, part of their motives. And, they didn't want to be known as the weird kids anymore. So what do? Shoot up their fucking school. Well, they went from the weird kids to fucking psychos and, dead. Dead. D-E-A-D, dead. So they went from the weirdos to the psychos to the dead psychos. You're probably wondering, okay, what does two tragedies have to do with Trump? What does that have to do? Like, what does two national tragedies have to do with anything? My point isn't, national tragedy, huge deal. I'm not comparing Trump's presidency necessarily to a national tragedy. My point is that radical riots, this radical ideology of, hey, let's destroy things, let's kill a bunch of people, let's cause as much damage as possible, let's do this, and that to get your point across. Well, anything in general doesn't have to do with Trump. Just anything in general. It's just generally not a good idea. It doesn't get your point across. Like, you don't win. You're losing. If you have to resort to, okay, I want to cause collateral damage to get my point across, you're probably losing. I'm just saying, like, that is a desperation move, and for a lack of a better term. That's what that is. It's a desperation move. Now, okay, new topic, and I think this might be the last topic of the video, because this is gonna be, like, I believe, a 2-hour-long video. And where I live, down in New York, it's 2:11, and I really need to get some sleep. I may or may not have a long day tomorrow in the mornings, or not necessarily in the morning, but in general, so just gonna kill a couple Combine soldiers. So yeah, these rants have basically just been, just things that have been generally on my mind, some things that I've thought of as I was ranting, and just overall some things that, like, are just some big deals to me or to other people that I feel like I should express, or like some ideas that I agree with that I also wanted to rant about, because again, like some things need to be ranted about, and that's just it. Like I believe like if you don't get your point across, if you can't get your point across verbally, or like in some fashion, if you can't get your point across, then I mean you're kind of at a loss then at that point. Like if you don't express yourself, I guess I'm trying to say, then I mean, what are you doing with yourself then? If you can't like express yourself, and like my channel here, me ranting like this, and I use this as a way to express myself. I don't use this as a way to like oh, I'm in it for the money. I'm here to express myself. That's what I'm all about. Like that's just I don't know. I just feel like I'm different from some people on YouTube. I'm not giving names. I'm not saying all YouTubers are in for the money, but like I feel like for some people. I use this as a way to express myself, not to, make a living out of it. But that's like why I do these rants, because I'm expressing, like, hey, this is what I believe. I want to start a debate in the comments, because that's what I like to do. I like to debate things. Like that's just like I like to, have conversations with people. I like to debate things sometimes. Now, granted, I'm not gonna if when you're debating and you gotta like go full stupid on me. Then that's gonna be an issue. Like if I'm debating and you make your point, but your point is something completely irrelevant, then okay, problems. But whatever. Anyways, I can't think of another topic, so I think I'm just gonna head to bed. I don't know if you agree or disagree with anything I've said down in the comments. Let me know. I'm gonna try to do less rants this long, but it was just a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest just overall. If you like this type of videos though, like of these rants specifically, I'm just gonna try to do more. Let me know down in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna try to post videos every week to the best of my ability. Granted, I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been able to do much because fucking college is a pain in the ass. But also if you have any video ideas, let me know down in the comments. I will definitely try something. Definitely try to do some more videos with some friends and whatnot. And speaking of videos with friends and whatnot, I have one thing I want to promote real quick. And I mentioned this earlier while playing Neverwinter, that I wanted to say something, and yeah, my frame rate was complete trash, so trying to promote it's probably not the best idea, but we're still gonna promote this. Get out of here. I no. Here it is, right here. Not this. Pay no attention to this, any of this right here. This is a, this is what happens when you take a couple idiots and get them to play D&D. This is what happens when you play D&D. And don't, this is an inside joke. Here it is, right here. On Neverwinter, I'm planning on starting a guild. Obviously, as you saw, I'm not that high up. I have a control wizard I'm going to use for the guild, but the healer is mostly for my friends. But anyways, this is the guild Discord. We're gonna call the Valiant Mercy Covenant. Don't ask why the name. It has nothing to do with the LA Valiant at all. It was actually a guild I was planning on starting that exact name before Overwatch League. Also, it's also a reference to an old clan I was in. But anyways, this is the guild Discord. If you're interested in joining the guild, hit me up down in the comments. I just need a couple more people so we can get this guild going. Obviously, no one's in here. I gotta convince 2 friends to join the guild first. One of them is down in Florida, so I actually only have one way to get a hold of him, but we can't play Neverwinter, or at least I don't think. And the other friend said he only might join if the other joins. So basically, long story short, I need people. And if you want to join, it's a PC only guild for now. Eventually, there'll be a console version of the guild. There's no requirements to join the guild necessarily. We're just a bunch of casuals looking for a good time. That's all we really are. We're not looking for, serious PvP or, we're not that. We're just like, a bunch of casuals getting together. Hey, you want to play this dungeon? Hey, you want to do this? We're basically like a bunch of casuals getting together, having a good time, playing the game together, all that fun stuff. And we're also gonna be like a helpful guild, like yeah, we'll help you out. You need help, yeah. Like we're just a bunch of casuals helping each other out, playing Neverwinter, having a good time. That's all we are. So if you're interested in joining, let me know in the comments. Just give me your the character name and your character name and their username and then I'll add you. I'll probably add you in either my control wizard or my cleric. Probably my cleric. I don't know which one I'm gonna start the guild on quite yet, but yeah, I'll leave my username or my character name down in the comments or in the description below, so that's me for fact. And what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else about the guild too. So there's no requirements, all that fun stuff. And we are English speaking only. Sorry, that's just none of us speak any other languages. I mean, I can speak some Spanish, but very, very little. It's been a while since I spoke Spanish, actually. So we're an English speaking guild, but other than that, most are welcome. There's not necessarily an age limit, but be reasonable. If you're like 6 years old playing Neverwinter and you're asking to join the guild, I'm gonna laugh and say no. But if you're like 12 years old but you're a decent player, okay, I'll give you, your invite. You deserve it. But like again, within reason, there's no age limit. We're not looking for a specific skill level. Again, we're just a bunch of casuals looking for a good time. But there's one more thing I forgot to say it, and I don't remember what I was gonna say. But I'm going to bed because, as you can see, it is currently 2:20 a.m. and I really need to get some fucking sleep. So again, Valiant Mercy Covenant. If you want to join, come on, join in. This does not have a link to MCA. If you don't know what MCA is, someone else in the comments can explain it to you because you apparently have never seen any other video on my channel. But this has nothing to do with MCA at all. So you're not a member. If you want to join MCA or the subdivision of what we're called, Athena's Mercy or something like that. I don't know. If you're looking to join MCA or the other division, that is not connected to this at all. You actually have to let me know down in the comments or hit me up on Twitter at ShadowSideLXZ and come follow me down there. Actually, I'm more on there than I am on anything else. Honestly, like people will say like, "Oh, you're on Xbox all the time," or "Oh, you're on this all the time." I'm on Twitter all the time. Like you'd be amazed. I tweet things. Like I probably tweet like more than I should, but I don't know, who cares. Anyways, I'm off to bed. Good night or good morning, however, you consider it. I'm calling it night because it's dark out, like it's like so dark out, like you can't see out my window, and my window I usually can see stuff. It's wow, man, it's like so black out. It's like the blackest black ever seen. Like wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm going to bed. Um, video next week. Goodbye. I'm out. Peace.